The final class changes before the season just arrived. What's up guys, Petko here. Welcome to another video. It's currently 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. for most of Europe. I just woke up and I saw a lot of changes happening to mostly all the DPS classes. Oh, most of the important ones at least. So let's talk about it, analyze it, and dive through it. Alright, first thing first, DK. Once again, Sunlane DK got nerfed. This means only one thing: you're probably gonna see Deathbringer being a lot closer to Sunlane on single target, while the AoE Sunlane should still be a hit. Does that mean a Bloody K is dead? Not really, because durability has not been touched at all. However, because of the damage nerfs, we are getting all the specs to come very close to Bloody K. Oh, not very close, but closer to Bloody K. So prod party values going up, Guardian Druid, VDH, all those are crippling, coming closer to them, but still, I would believe Bloody K to be ahead. Going forward to Frost Death Knight. Frost Death Knight, even though you guys see they got a 9% aura buff, their TPs got significantly nerfed, which took up the power away from the set to the more raw power. I went to the Death Knight Discord, I believe. I spoke also to Bias by asking him at least. He is he's not online yet. But from all of the pins that I've read, this is the most recent one. Minus 2% for DB and minus 3% for Rider. I was assuming that single target, which once again, we don't know how much that's going to impact AoE, but in a couple hours we should know. It's most definitely going to be either net neutral or negative. It is not going to be a buff. At least it was a nerf for single target. It might be even more for AoE, or again, depends. Waiting for the changes to come. Until then, I will just refrain from saying anything. Devourer DH. Devourer DH received a nerf. A third nerf in a row for Devourer. Even though it says all ability damage buffed by 14%, the Reap Coup Eradicate got nerfed by 12%. Again, nerf to Eradicate. Eradicate base area damage got buffed by a little bit. However, the 4-piece got pretty much nuked. A lot less souls of fragments and a lot less damage to Reap. So that means, if you actually go towards here and check the most recent tuning post, it says TLDR Annihilator loses around 9% damage on single target and around 1% for AoE, while Void Scar loses 4.2% in ST and 2% in AoE. Now keep in mind, Annihilator was already quite behind on single target compared to Void Scar, so now going to be even further behind. So pretty much Devourer DH would turn into a, if you want to play Collapsing Star, your AoE is going to be very good, but ST is going to be trash. If you want to play Void Scar, your ST is going to be a lot better than Annihilator, and the AoE might be slightly worse. Talking about mass AoE, on a lower target count will be better. Now here, the person called Jom, he wrote a rather descriptive article with all the sims included here, as you can see. So you guys can check them out if you go to Devourer Discord and read the pins. But that's it. You can stop the video. TLDR nerfed. Moving forward to the next one is going to be Restoration Druid. We all expected the Restoration Druid to get buffed. This time around, I don't think that's big enough. 4% buff on the Restoration Druid, it's not big enough. This needs to be at least 10% or higher. Or any other baseline spells, I would love that. All damage increased by 20%. Still, that is okay, I'm going to explain to you why this doesn't matter. Because you spend so much time healing targets that you don't have time to go to cat form. That's why your damage sucks. If you had better healing, you're gonna spend more time being in cat form, therefore more damage. This sucks. This needs more. I feel Restoration Druid is still gonna be trash unless it gets buffed again. At least for M+. Beastmaster Hunter, they buffed the 4-piece. Which again is gonna buff your single target and AoE. I believe the Hunter Discord has not yet said anything. I believe Azor is still asleep to ask him. But once he wakes up, I will let you know. Just checking again. No, they didn't say anything yet. I'm sure they're gonna post some news very soon. I think Banshers is also still asleep or not here, so I would ask him too. So as you can see, the Beast Cleave benefit from Cobra Shot or your 4-piece now is going to be a roughly 33% stronger from this. And on single target, it's going to do, I think, like 25% more damage as well from the tier set. So yeah, overall, this should be buff and ST in AoE. I was already preparing Hunter, so this is really good to see. Thumbs up. Arcane Mage. Arcane Mage received nerf. 2-piece and 4-piece significant nerf for Arcane, and they just got compensated by 30%. Now, I did speak to Dutch Magus, who is one of the main theory crafters of Mage. I can't leak the DMs though, because I never leak DMs. But TODR, Arcane got nerfed. The nerf, I think it was... 1 second, let me check. He did have numbers. I think he said something along the line with 4.7% ST nerf and roughly 2.7 or even higher AoE nerf, depending on how severe the builds are or the build variance, how severe it is. I don't want to once again show DMs because that's not appropriate, but yes, Arcane got a nerf. They're gonna run all of other possible talents soon, and we're gonna know more. But for now, preliminary sims are showing to be a minor nerf for Arcane. They got lucky because they got compensated with that 3% buff. If they didn't, this could have been even bigger nerf. Mystery Monk got a HPS buff. This was actually quite predictable because they didn't really play that well or heal that well in the raid. So 8% major healing. This is actually very good for monks. And 4-piece got buffed by 33%. Once again, this is gonna help monks to Mythic Plus tremendously, likely jumping to the 3rd best healer right now, or 4th, depending on Press Evoker and how well we play it. So that's really good for you. Discipline Priest got another changes here. We are expected to see a single target nerf. As you can see, damage reduced by 30% and traffic rate damage slightly increased. However, Atonement also got significantly buffed. This should come out as a net neutral change when it comes down to healing. In some cases, once again, I spoke to Clandon, who is one of the main theory crafters for Disc Priest on the Disc Priest Discord. And he did mention it might be a small buff in HPS, a very tiny buff in HPS. And as you can see, as you can expect, the damage nerf is already active, even though they attempted to buff Anthropic Rift if you play Void Weaver. So yeah, I was expecting more. I was expecting to see HPS buff in Mythic Plus scenario. Unfortunately, they did not, which I am quite disappointed by. On the other hand, Holy Priest, you now have much better mana economy, which obviously is a good thing for you. And they are buffing Oracle too. This should help balance out Oracle and Archon as Holy Priest. And this is the 3rd consecutive buff to Holy Priest. And as you can see, this time around, the Oracle was actually buffed quite significantly. The percentage is going from 10 to 40. That is a 300% buff. Likewise, for the preventative measures too. Look at the percentage. It jumped so much. And Prompt Prognosis also got increased healing. This is really good for Oracle. If you are planning to play Oracle. So that's about it. Overall, I'm happy about it. I'm even going to prefer to play Holy Priest over Disc Priest now in most of the casual level keys. I might still go Disc Priest for the highest just because of the toolkit. But for the most part, I'm going to play Oracle instead. I'm going to play Holy Priest instead of Disc Priest if I were playing average keys. Also, it's much easier to play, let's be honest. Moving forward to Rogue. Asarok got another buff. This is the, I think, 3rd or 4th consecutive buff to Asarok. And they keep buffing the aura damage. Once again, 4% aura damage increased. The AoE of Asarok is already pretty good. The single target wasn't doing exceptional, but they keep buffing it, so now it's becoming better and better. If they wanted to buff only ST, they could have done it much easier. So this was a disappointment. Obviously good for people that are maining Rogue. Nothing to be said here, just 4% better everywhere. Sub-Rogue received a 6% aura buff. However, they significantly nerf your 4-piece, which will result in a net neutral change. I already checked Rogue Discord just to make sure I'm right, and there's nothing here. The guy posted a TLDR called Stealthy. Who is Stealthy actually? He says community figure. So not TC at least. But anyway, he says it's about neutral. I'm gonna wait until Oxy or anybody that, you know, theory crafts actively for Sub-Rogue posts a more definitive answer. Or maybe this guy does theory craft, I'm just not sure. But I'm gonna take it as of now as net neutral or a buff until you get your tier set. In that case, it will become that neutral. Shaman, finally, good news for enhanced shamans. 5% out of buff for enhanced shamans. Anybody that was expecting it, congratulations. Enhanced now getting closer and closer to Ellie. Enhanced, I had enhanced in 8 tier, so this is gonna help them both in mythic plus in rate. Overall, solid performer everywhere they were before the buffs, even better after the buffs. Big W. Moving forward, Demonology Warlock. Demonology Warlock, this is likely the second change they received throughout the entire PTI testing or beta testing, whatever you want to call it. So 2.5 months of nothing or one change only, and now they did receive a 2-piece buff. As you can see, this 2-piece buff unfortunately is not going to be resulting in a massive change. It is going to help you in AoE and ST, but I would expect a minor numbers here for Demonology going upwards. I did ask Motoko on Warlock Discord, what does he think about this? I think he's still asleep because currently it's very early European time. If I go to Demo info, the info is not here yet. There are no pins yet, but again, very soon they will be. So look out for that in Warlock Discord. As soon as there's something, I'll let you guys know. But I would expect a minor buff. Warrior. Okay, TLDR Fury 4-piece was overperforming, and they did want to nerf it, and they offset the Fury damage by 6% out above here Fury. This still will result in overall a nerf. You heard it right. I spoke to Archie. He even wrote me right now. Let me check. I can't even show it once again, but he did say it's gonna be a roughly 3% nerf, give or take, nothing major. So on top of this, Slayer has been overperforming for both specs due to a bug causing Executioner to provide double value, which was recently hotfixed. So this is also a nerf to arms. The fix has brought overall arms performance down into our intended range, but we're happy with where Fury has been. So this should also be a nerf to arms warrior, even though it is not in the notes, okay? Because they did a hotfix to Executioner being double dipping all the time, which we didn't know until now. So yeah, that's about it. We're waiting on the exact percentage nerf for that to happen, but because it wasn't really a, it wasn't really simple plus X ability increase or minus disability increase, it takes more time. In a couple hours, maybe in a day, we're gonna know for sure how much it got nerfed, but for now, it is nerfed. All right, that's overall every single change so far for patch 12.1 or before season 2 comes out. The season should be coming out in exactly 4 days from now for Europe and 3 for America. Thank you for everything that you guys have been here for. Once again, if there is any other updates, I'll let you know. They did post a class tuning schedule, so we expect to see more class tuning the next 2 weeks, maybe after Water first, and after that there should be nothing for at least several weeks. Congratulations to all the Arms Warriors. It seems like despite everything people were saying, Arms likely to be the best DPS right now in the game, on even the best melee. So congratulations, and I'm gonna be putting my Arms Warrior back to work just in case. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on stream in a bit.